so the guys can follow along at home. Let's do the other side now. One foot up in front of the other. Back toe, front heel, lift the arch of that front foot. Tuck the tailbone, turn on the abs. Let's go for our 10. Lean slightly forward, push the feet away from each other. Go for 1, 2, 10 in total. Knees stay almost bent all the time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do that nice burn. Push through that back foot. 9. One more. And 10. Lovely. That's our first exercise. It's called a split squat. We're going to do that. We're going to do some banded work. So if you have a band, watch me. Here's one I made earlier. We're going to do a band pull apart. Looks like this. Start with the band slightly out in front. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades back before I pull. I want to make sure that I have my abs tucked really, really hard together so that I'm not pulling through the back or the lower back, and I'm really feeling the abs stretch as I pull down. Lovely exercise to get the muscles in the middle of the back and to open up the chest. If you don't have access to a band, I'm going to get you to do an arch W on the floor. Lying on your belly. Bring your hands, thumbs in line with the shoulders. Make sure you're not sticking your bum out. Tuck your tailbone into the floor so that your hips and your ribs come stacking up on top of each other. So I'm thinking about pressing my hip bones into the floor. And then from there, I'm going to lift. I'm going to reach. I'm going to lift. And I'm going to reach. The abs down the whole time here. Keep tucking or pulling the belly button up into the rib cage. Let's all do 5 of these together so we can understand the tyranny of body weight exercises. And then if we have the band, we'll go back to the band. So tuck the tailbone, pull the belly button into the spine, create tension in the abs, and let's lift and reach. That's 1, lift and reach. 2, feel lovely things going on in the muscles in the back and in the muscles in the abs. Very important we get that tuck and squeeze before we go, so we're not just hanging out on the lower back. Last one. Very nice. The next one we're going to do, so either band pull apart or W. Your choice depending on what equipment you have. On the W's, between 5 and 10 reps, you want to do an amount of reps that you feel by the end of it, you're like, Jesus, I could only do 1 more. You can do more than 1, take the reps up. This is called a hips high overhead press. So find somewhere, couch, chair, table, wall, where you can drive your feet into. In this quadruped position, this is me starting my hands underneath my shoulders. I'll walk through with you, I'll show you first. I'm going to drive my bum up towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to bring my head down to the mat and back up. Easy, right? This is a challenging exercise. So if you need to, grab yourself a pillow, a rolled up jacket, put it underneath your head, so you don't have to go so far to the floor, and you can manage to get a couple of more reps. It's challenging. Come into that quadruped position. My feet are against the wall, my knees are under my hips, my hands are under my shoulders. I'm going to lift up, hips high, and then I'm going down to my cushion and back up. We're going to do between 4 and 8 reps. Your choice on the reps that you want to do. When you're going down, we need to crunch your abs really, really hard. Let's get into it together. So find your pillow if you need one. Push your toes into the wall, hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Hips high, knees bent if you need to, and we're going down. We're going for between 4 and 8 reps. Crunch the abs before you go. Lovely. That is 1 set done. Amen. Hallelujah. So let's do them all together. We have a couple of options on the split squats. If you want to make the split squats a little bit more manageable, bring the box down or a couch or something like that, so you can put your foot, elevate your foot on top. When we do our split squats, the keys here are creating the fist so you have the abs tight and that slight lean forward. Front foot pushes forward, back foot pushes back. If you're here, we're going to do a 2-second pause in the bottom. Let's go together. We're going to do 8 reps per side. Coming down, 1, 2, driving. Let's go together. Either standing or with your foot in the box. 1, 2, up. Push the feet away from each other. Up. That's 3. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, 2, up, 2 more, 1, 2, up, last one, create those fists, 1, 2, up. Nice, we did one leg, we gotta do the other one, right? Unless you want one massively strong glute. Let's start with our foot back on the box. Pull the abs through the rib cage down, create tension there, create the fists. Front leg is moving forward, back leg is moving back. 2 seconds in the bottom, 8 reps. Let's go. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. That's halfway. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. Last 2. 1, 2, up. Last one. Lift the arch of that front foot, push it forward. Nice. Let's go into our band pull apart or our arch W. So on these band pull aparts, we're going to go for 20 reps. We want to tuck our tailbone, make sure our back is flat. Pulling the shoulder blades back and away from the ears, and we're going for 10. Sorry, 20 reps. We want to make sure we're not just hanging out in that lower back. Tuck it under. Keep the rib cage down. Keep the shoulder blades away from the ears. You're not just working the muscles up around the top of the neck, you're working the muscles in between the shoulder blades. 5 more, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Pop the band to the side, come into that overhead press. This is round 2 of breathe. Not so many, right? So if we're in this third round, found the last round, if you get more than 2 reps, definitely push yourself to get a few more. If you felt like you could get more than 1 rep, or you could get 1 rep more, then you're probably working at the right intensity. So let's make it really challenging here. We want to come to not so many reps left in the tank. That's how we encourage your body to get stronger. Quadruped position, hips up, push the feet into the wall, drive your head to the floor. Go for 1, 2, 3, minimum 4, and 4. Use your pillow if you need to, and then whatever else you have left. Lovely, guys. Take a drop of water, slow it down. We're going back into the split squats now for the third round. So, make it a little bit tougher. Will be that foot on the box. Tougher again. Add a kettlebell, add a dumbbell, add a small child. Let's pop the foot up or do it standing. Remember, we don't really need much weight here to create loads of tension in the body. So we're going to tuck and squeeze the abs. Lift the arch of the front foot. Make sure you got that 3-point contact. Hold the big toe, hold the little toe, and the heel. Let's go down. Hold for 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. Halfway. Up. 3 to go. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. Last 1, 2, up. Same thing on the other side. Make sure you create that fist so the abs don't jump up. Keep them down nice and tight. Keep the hands together. We're going to lift the arch of the foot and we're going to sit down into it. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. Front foot pushes forward. Back toe pushes back. 2, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. Last 3 reps. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. Last 1. 1, 2, up. Woo, legs are burning. Come on into your W's lying on the floor or your band pull apart. Very important that we do a little bit of work for the shoulders to pull them back and down. So let's flatten out the belly, turn the hand overhead, and let's go for 20 reps, or between 5 and 10 on those W's on the floor. Big squeeze through the muscles underneath the shoulder blades, and a big stretch through the chest. You really got to think about that. Where do I want my shoulder blades when I'm doing this exercise, so I get the muscles in my back. 5 to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Done. See you later. Let's go into that overhead press. Do you have an idea now of the kind of reps that you want to hit here? Let's start with the feet in line with the wall. Hands out in front. We're going to lift our hips up high. We're going to tighten or crunch our abs in the front. Relax those shoulders away from the ears. Minimum 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now see what you can get. 5, 6, maximum 8, 7, 1 more, and 8. Nice work. 3 sets done. So that's our squatting, a little bit of pulling, and a little bit of pressing done. Next set of exercises. Whoa. Grab some water if you need to. Let's slow it down in between. Watch me and I'll show you what we're doing. So you might have a kettlebell. You might have a band. All of these are good. If you don't have any, I will show you what to do. For the deadlift, I'm going to take my band. I'm going to put it underneath my feet. I'm going to bring my feet either side of the band. 1, 2. Kind of wide. So I've got a position to sit down, drop my hips in the bottom. 1 band, challenging. 2 bands, more challenging. From here, sitting down so I feel my quads, my hamstrings, and my glutes squeezing to stand. Watch me from the side. Grabbing each band. Very important here is that back staying really straight and the shoulder blades pulling away from the band before you go. Lift the arches of the feet, and we're going to do 15 reps here. This is all about the hips hinging. So this is the hip bone, top the thigh, opening at the top, closing at the bottom. If you don't have a band, but you do have a kettlebell, we'll just do a deadlift. In the deadlift, we're really focusing on at the bottom, sitting down, so we feel our quads, feel our legs, pull away with the shoulders, crush the can of Coke with the abs. So that's my position for the deadlift. If all else fails and you don't have any of these, I'd like you to find a bench or a box and pop your heels on the bench or box. And we're going to do 20 reps in this glute bridge position. Going for 1, 2, closing the hip as you go down, opening through the hip as you come up. So grab whatever piece of kit you have, pop your feet on the box if that's what you're doing. We're doing 15 reps on the kettlebell and the band, and we're doing 20 reps here on the glute bridge. Let's start together. So on the band, step wide on the band, drop the hips, crush the can of Coke between your rib cage, and let's go for standing. 1, 2, we really want to feel like we're pushing the floor away here. 4, 5, 6, lots of tension in the legs as you get to the bottom. 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 to go. Very important we don't let those abs go at the top. Keep them tight. 4, 3, push to the floor. 2, and 1. Very nice. With that, more push-ups. Yay! So, we're going to do a little bit of something different than we did last Tuesday. Tuesday we were doing regular push-ups. When you got tired, stagger the hands. Today, we're going to go for alternating grips. We're going to start with our fingers making a triangle. This is called a close grip push-up. And I want you to do on our first set, do as many as you can, -3. So essentially, do a load of reps, see like, oh, I've still got 3 left in the tank. Watch me from the side, hands grip close, here in our push-up position. Now, if you're not there with the toes, that's fine, from the knees, or find a spot where you can elevate your hands, and that will make it more accessible. So let's do this first grip. Create the triangle. We're going together. Leave 3 left in the tank. Lovely. When you're done, our next one is a regular grip push-up, where our hands are underneath us, but we're going to turn our hands out slightly. Wrist might not like it too much, doesn't have to be to that extent, but even a slight turn so that your thumbs are in line or pointing in the same place that your fingers are pointing. Spread the fingers, same thing again, leave 3 left in reserve. Look, last one. Hands wide. So this is, close grip is in between the shoulders, regular grips underneath the shoulders, wide is just outside. Same thing again, 3 left in reserve. These might be a little bit tougher. Pull the shoulder blades back, breathe into your back, and let's go for it. Lovely, guys. 1 set done. We're going to do 2 more sets. Things are going to get a little different from the push-up. We're going to take it down. We said leave 3 left in reserve. Now we're going to leave 2 left in reserve. The last set will leave 1 left in reserve. So we're building that in volume on those basic movements so that you say, okay, my push-ups have got stronger. Now I can do 15, 20, 25 in a row. Or I'm getting my first one from my toes. All good markers of progress. You can't get away from doing the basics. Like the basics are where it's at. Basics is how you get stronger. So we're going into our deadlift. Grab your kettlebell, grab your band. One thing to remember, if you're doing your hip thrust or with your heels on the bench, we want to lock it in first and lift from here, not from here. So keep everything really, really stable or in line. Let's go on our deadlift. Lift the arches of the feet off the floor. Find that big toe ball, little toe ball on the floor, heel ball on the floor. Sit into it. Crush the can of Coke with the rib cage and the belly button. Push through the floor. 15 reps. Crush that can on the way down. 14. 13. You're doing 20 on the hip thrust. 12. 11. 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, push the can, push to the floor, 4, 3, 2, and lovely. Back into our push-ups. Let's go for the close grip. So leaving 2 left in reserve this time. So a set a little bit closer to failure. Create that triangle position with the hands. Shoulder blades back, spread the fingers, and let's go together. From the knees, from an elevated surface if you need to. Same thing on our regular grip. I think it's tough, right? We're going to turn our fingers slightly out to the side so that my thumbs are pointing the same line as my shoulders. I'm going to spread my fingers, lift the palm of the hand off the floor. Let's go together. 2 left in reserve. Lovely. Last one now. We're going to hands fairly wide, so close grip inside the shoulders, in line with the shoulders, slightly outside the shoulders. Turn the fingers out, spread the fingers so the thumbs are in line with the shoulders, pointing the same direction. The place where your toe points, or if your thumb, is very important to the integrity of the shoulder, not rounding in, but staying in a nice position here. Let's go for our 2 reps left in reserve. Goodbye push-ups, don't do push-ups ever again. Joke, we've got 1 more set. So back into our deadlift, grab some water if you need to. We want to make sure that we're not doing 1 set after next set after next set. We're keeping nice amounts of break in between so the muscles can recover properly. This will be the last one now. If you have 2 kettlebells, you can do your kettlebell deadlift with both. If you have a little bit of loading, like something light that wouldn't really work for a deadlift, you can do your glute bridge, put the loading on here. Or if the band isn't very, very heavy and you want a little bit more intensity, you can pop your heels onto the box, pop the band on your hips, and it will allow for you to get a little bit more tension as you press through, or a little bit more resistance. Once you've got something working against you, that's the thing that will trigger a little bit more strength or engaging of muscle. Let's go together a last set of the deadlifts. Drop the hips. Crush the can of Coke in your abs. Lift the arches of the feet. Balls with a big toe, balls with a little toe. Heel on the floor. And let's make our lift. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Amen, hallelujah. Into the push-ups. So volume, 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 and those basic movements. This time, 1 rep left in reserve. So feeling by the end of it, you're like, oh, I've only got 1. That's where you want to be sitting. Turn the elbows towards the camera, spread the fingers, create that triangle with the index and the thumb. Let's see what we can get. Let's do the same thing on our slightly wider or normal grip. Thumbs pointing the same direction as the shoulders. Fingers spread. 1 before failure. Last one. Hands wide. Turn them slightly out. Step those shoulder blades down. Think about stretching the chest and the bottom. Go together. Finish it out where you feel appropriate. That's our strength work done. Now we will condition. So heart rate's going to get up a little bit higher. We're going to do some lunges or step throughs, and we're going to do some step ups. Do 3 minutes of work and a minute of a break in between. We'll alternate between the step throughs and the step ups. Too much information, maybe. So watch me first. 3 minutes, clock start. We're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After you do 5, swapping over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the first leg. Do that for 3 minutes. Minute break in between. After the minute break, we're going for a step through. So keep tension on the legs here. We're going forward lunge, backward lunge. Leaning forward just a little bit, pushing the knees away from each other. When you've done 5, 5 on the other side. Take a minute break. We'll do that full thing twice. You ready? Grab a little bit of water, prepare yourself for the workout. We are looking to get the heart rate up here. We want this to be tough. Let me get on some tunes that are appropriate, and it will give us a little bit of time to stretch at the end. Okay. I've got you on my clock. We got 3 minutes. If the steps feel really, really high, try and find somewhere a little bit lower, or you could just do the lunges, alternating between, instead of a step up, doing a lunge and a high knee, and then the next step doing your step through. Your choice. We're going to do it together. Pace off me if you need to. If I'm going a little bit fast, slow it down. For the goal here, keep tension in the legs. Feel like the legs are doing lots and lots of work. So, let's go together. In 3, 2, 1, and we're off. 5 on one leg. Keep thinking about pulling from that foot, grounding yourself through your foot on the box. Once you've done 5, swap over. Lift the arch of the foot. 4, 3, 2, and other side. That's 1 step. 1. Feels good. We'll start to speed it up. 2. Keeping the integrity of the abs and the foot. Big toe, little toe, heel. Lifting the arch of the foot. Once you've done 5, swap it over. 3, 4. Remember the intention here. Burn the muscles, get the heart rate up. 1 more, back to the other side. That's 1 minute gone. This is our third set. So we're looking to get 6 out of 5 each leg. If you can, let's move a little faster. 3, 4, 5, other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Right on track. Around every 30 seconds. 4 and 5. Hopefully feeling the burn in the muscles now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got 1 more minute left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing on the other side. 5, 4, 3, 1. Last set here. See, can we get a few extra reps done? 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing on the other side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. With 20 seconds left, let's alternate legs. 4, 5, 8 seconds. 8. Last one. 3 minutes. We get a 1 minute break. Next, we're going into step overs. So now we want similar kind of feeling in the legs. Sometimes if the step is too high, you won't feel the quads as much. If you lower the step, you'll feel the front of the legs a little bit more. Not a bad thing. Our next step, we're doing the step throughs. So different from the strength work, and the fact that the strength work, we're going to failure, right? We're using exercises where we're like, oh, I've only got a few left in the tank. This conditioning is like, I can keep going and going and going. It just gets burny, or my heart rate gets really high, or my lung capacity, I'm like, so that's what we want now. If it's feeling like, oh, I only have 1 left in reserve, that's not what we're looking for. Make it easier by going onto a lower step, or doing a lunge, only reverse. Don't go all the way down. 5 seconds, we're onto those step throughs. 3 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Grab your fist if you can. We're doing 5 per side. Think about pushing the knees away from each other. And now we're going to swap legs. Same thing on the other side. 5, 4, separating the feet. 3, and 1. Swap sides. 1, keeping tension in the abs or keeping awareness in the abs. 2. If this help here. 3, 4, and 5. Swap sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are 1 minute in. You're looking for about a set every 30 seconds. Last one. Swap sides. Start to feel the burn in the legs now, I'm sure. Last one. 5. Same thing on the other side. Halfway now. That's 4. That's 5. Swap legs. Keep the back long. Two more on this side. Woo. 1 minute left. Two, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 25 seconds. 4 and 5. Ah! Let's go forward. 15 seconds. 2. And swap sides. And 2. And that's time. 5 seconds. Take the break. Only 2 more rounds. Legs feeling it. So we spent a long time building up your capacity to do exercises, say lunging or squatting, deadlifting, pushing or pull-ups, in a way that's as non-invasive or non-stressful as possible. So the stress that we have in exercise creates an overload. That overload is what gets us stronger. A way to prevent overload, or better yet, a way to increase overload, is do more of the same thing in the same period of time. So like now we're increasing the overload by doing lots of step-ups and lots of lunges, which are a very similar pattern. Like we did lots of push-ups. That would be a very similar pattern. So that gets us stronger over time, but if your capacity for those movements is really, really low anyway, we need to build that up first in a non-stressful way. Go in 5 seconds, round 3 or 4. 3, 2, 1. Start on the leg that you didn't start with the last time, if you remember. 3, 4. Outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 sets in 1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 5, 4. So we had 2 sets. 3, 2, and we got 4 more sets to go. 3. If the legs are really starting to blow up, we're doing 6 sets. I want you just to do 4 and take a longer break. Same thing on the other side. 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, if you're really feeling the legs now, this would be the side. After this leg, take the break. We're going to do another 2 sets. More. Okay. So 2 more sets each leg. 4. 1 minute left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last set. Maybe a little time for a couple of extra reps. 2, 4, 5, other side. 5, 4, 3, 2. We've got 20 seconds. Let's do 3 on one side and 3 on the other. 2. Same thing on the other side. 3. Love it. Take a break. 1 minute left. 1 more round. We're into those step throughs. So now that we have a capacity for all those movements, we do them in the least stressful way, which was we're going to do a squat and a pull, or we're going to do a push-up and a deadlift, or we did for quite a while, we do 2 upper bodies, push and pull, and 2 lower bodies, deadlift and squat. We're going to do them, and we're going to vary how we do them every time. Now, we're building, so we're building your capacity on these basic movements. Lunge, squat, hip hinge, deadlift, push-up, and pull-up in some form of the way, but we're going to keep them very similar so you get that overload. Varying things is important, but if you want to get a good base of something, you need to do it quite often. We are going in 15 seconds, the last round. The lunges are harder, aren't they? Harder because there's more of a leg burn. We're going 5 seconds. See, can you do a minute and a half or 2 minutes? The legs are really blown. Let's go together. That's 1, 2, 3. Keep the fists in front. 4. Last 1. It just keeps those abs in the right place. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Woo, that's 1 set. That's 30 seconds. So we're going for 6 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the other side. 5, 4, 3, 2. 2 sets done. 4 to go. Remember, this burn in the muscles, that's you developing strength in those patterns. So you get stronger as you do it. You're already strong, but it's just getting more familiar. The more familiar you feel with these movements, the easier they are when you go do it. The less mental effort it takes to get your exercise in. Last one. Whew. Halfway. That's a minute and a half. Feel like that's enough for you today? Leave it at that. Feel like you can't make another rep? Leave it at that. Last one. Swap sides. Remember, we don't want to go to absolute failure here. 3, 4, 5. This will be second last set. 2, 3, 4, 5. Something that you can't get up, leave it at that. 3, 2, do 3 each side to finish off. 1, 2, 3. 3 more, we're done. 3, 2. And I am done. My legs are done. Oh, they're nice. Oh. Take the break. Come to lying on the floor. Let's get those legs up. So if you have a couch or a box, pop the feet on top. Get yourself nice and close to the box. And just allow the blood to flow. Even better, if you have a wall, come to the wall. Get the legs up. Bring the toes down to the shins. This is more effort than the workout. Toes down. Breathing in, breathing out. Allow the blood to flow away from the legs, back up to the heart. Relax the head. And let's start to focus on the breathing. Into the nose. Hold for a second, out through the mouth. Into the nose. Out through the mouth. Into the nose. Out through the mouth. Then count the breaths. In for 4. Out for 7. In for 4. Out for 7. In for 4. Out for 7. In for 5. Out for 8. In for 5. Out for 8. In for 6. Out for 10. In for 6. Out for 10. In for 7. Out for 11. In for 7. Out for 11. In for 7. Out for 11. Last 2, in for 7. Out for 11. In for 7. Out for 11. And now 30 seconds, breathe whatever way you want. Let your mind do whatever it wants. You've earned your rest. Lovely, guys. Great work as always. And hopefully you're feeling a little bit better after that session. Legs might feel a little bit stiff or tender today. Epsom salt baths help, lots of sleep, lots of the good foods, so things that we don't have to argue about. Potatoes. Never argue about potatoes. Vegetables, meats, fish, things like that, what suits your body, but also getting in enough of it to help you recover from the training sessions so you can get stronger. Great work today, guys.